Gabather is a small Swedish biotech company involved in drug discovery, drug development. Our candidate drugs target neuropsychiatric disorders. They target the GABA receptor system in the brain. Our markets or potential partners in the future are in-licensing departments of small, medium and large pharma companies that are interested in developing these compounds into phase 3 and onto the market. Right, so GT002 is a small molecular weight compound. It targets the GABA-A receptor, and compared to competitors which target the same receptor system, it's a very, very mild effect that we can see. It is orally available, has excellent pharmaceutical properties, has no issues in the studies that we have done. We've done 4 clinical trials in healthy volunteers. Has no issues regarding safety, regarding tolerability, regarding addiction potential. So it's a very safe drug and very interesting properties. And in contrast to competitors, it has very interesting effect in learning and memory models, improving learning and memory, which none of the other competitors have. So in that sense, it stands quite apart from the rest, so to speak. The key factors for success of GT002 as a candidate drug in the clinic will be that excellent pharmaceutical properties can be taken orally in a daily fashion, so that is an enormous advantage compared to other candidates out there. And of course that it interacts with the EEG and the neuronal networks in the brain in modulating the GABA-A receptor in a very mild, it's a very partial agonist activator of this system. So compared to other compounds around, we don't expect any major side effects, and in the trials so far we haven't seen any issues with safety or tolerability or side effects. So going into the clinical studies with patients, we're very optimistic. What I can see for the effect of the TOTEMS study on the licensing agreements is that we constantly monitor what data are coming out. This trial takes 2 years. But of course, the results will be very interesting for anybody that want to in-licensing drug that's effect on learning and memory. One, and it's very interesting for people that work in the area of schizophrenia, of course, because of schizophrenia patients that we're looking at. So that particular TOTEMS trial will be very relevant for anybody working in the area of learning and memory, cognitive disorders. And as a matter of fact, we're already presenting the trial and the trial design at a schizophrenia meeting here at the end of March. And we already got people that are interested in how are you doing this. So we are on the radar of people that are interested in the field, including people that work in licensing and looking at this drug. And they will be certainly looking at the trial, which again, and I have to underline this more than once, this is a fully funded trial in schizophrenia looking at cognitive deficits. So we're getting both a very severe pathology we're addressing and its interesting effects on the EEG and cognition. So it's a good, very well designed trial, and the data will be very interesting. And the better the data, the more interest in the licensing. Well, 1 year from now, hopefully, I see myself in a room signing a licensing agreement with a big major or medium-sized pharma company or another form of partnering for GT002. The way there will be good news flow from the ongoing clinical trial, hopefully being able to start another smaller clinical trial, maybe in another indication, and getting some good news from the pipeline compounds that we still have. That would be a great 2025 for me and for Gabather. So the net procedure of this particular right issue is to extend our runway, and we need our runway in order to get to the goal line, which is to get an agreement and a partnership or a licensing agreement for GT002. That will be the allocation of the main of the funds. So there will be a lot of partnering meetings, business meetings, traveling. And number 2 on the list will be see if we can start another clinical trial. Hopefully, at least start the process of this. And number 3, we're developing our pipeline compounds. We still have some interesting candidates that can follow up GT002, roughly the same molecular structure, but a little bit different profile. But key focus is partnering of GT0, and with that revenue that comes into Gabather, then continue our pipeline work. So that is what we want. What we need the funds from this revenue, from this emission for. There are more than 3 reasons. I would just name the three main ones. Now, reason number 1 is we are looking at a company that has a clinical candidate in a phase 2 study that is fully funded. This is, I cannot underline this more than 2 or 3 times. A fully funded clinical phase 2 trial is worth a lot. So the chances for getting through with this trial and getting interesting data is very good. We have a small biotech company that has a proprietary model to make more of these molecules, and we literally have a company from a Swedish university through the Swedish system that has innovation, and actually in our case from bench, a lab bench, to the bedside, which is a little bit of a catchphrase, but in our case it's actually true. We developed this ourselves. So that is absolutely reason number 2, so the competence is there. And finally, the unmet medical need for the diseases that we are targeting, which are neuropsychiatric disorders, particularly looking at deficits in learning and memory, the need for that is huge as it is today. The market, we're talking billions, and it is increasing because many of the diseases are related to aging, and aging is increasing in society. So I think these 3 reasons are big and heavy enough to make it, in my opinion, which is biased, a very interesting opportunity, I think.